A friend of me asked me to work on this little model he has, and I'll go through and comment some of the things. I'll change some things. I'll try to do it all live action. I'll try to do it as fast as I can. I've imported the model by going to upload. I went through upload. It was a step file. I got it into Fusion 360 that way. Then I went in through and changed it to millimeters. It came in as inches. Alright, so now I have the model here. And this is a complex little model. And we'll go over why it's complex here. The other thing is that so this is going to be made out of maple, and I have it set up with the bits that I would use. I'm going to go in and get the bits that my friend's system might use. And so let's go over to the manufacturing tab. All right. So I've got my work setup file. Here's my work setup file. I got my Z going straight up. X and Y, it doesn't really matter once Z is straight up, but Z is the direction that the bit will come down in. And so once you got that set up, that's really good. All right, so the next thing I want to do is an adaptive. So let me go in. Let's see. What did I do wrong? Oh, the setup file's over here. So I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to go in and do an adaptive. I'm going to edit this toolpath. My friend has 3mm end mills, so I'm going to go in and try to get a tool. And to get a tool, I have to go into the sample tools, metric, and I'm going to go with a 3mm flat end mill. Now this may not be what he has, but it's a place to start. Alright, so I've got the 3mm end mill in here. 12,000 is a reasonable speed. I don't think we can go this fast. I think, let's see, I think we're going to have to drop to around 800. And our ramp rate, I want to start out with 250 and 250. Alright, so that is our tool setup. Turn this off. Then we go to adaptive. We're just going to be cutting this pocket out, and it'll incorporate this detail. It will not get the text. Alright, so the heights and everything, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go, let's see. I don't use adaptive very often. Maximum axial engagement. I'm trying to make it so it doesn't go too deep. Well, let's take a look at what it does. So, optimum tool load, it doesn't really like it. Okay, optimum tool load. Let's go with 1mm, 1.5. Let's just go with 1mm. Let's see what it does. Alright, we're able to get by with that. It's calculating right here. We're at about 9%. Man, that's going to take a long time. What I'm concerned about is that, oh dear. That's not the prettiest thing. It looks like it would work. It's going to take forever. And let's see if I go get my... This is my task monitor, and even though I have a lot of documents open, I'm at 100% utilization because these toolpaths just take forever to calculate, especially when you're using a small tool. All right, I am going to stop until this is done. Well, look at that. The toolpath is done. It's going to take 5 hours and 25 minutes, which is not that good. You can come here and do a simulation, and we'll speed that through. And you can look right here. It's only going down 0.5 millimeter. So you can tune in some of the settings to get a better well, let's go out here. Let's see how deep it's going. This is not too bad. Let's see here. I can adjust some of the display things. Opacity. All right, so it seems to have stopped. But it's working on everything but the text. So it should get this lower profile and this upper level here. So that one is done. I'll close that one. And that is going to be the first one that is done. So I'm going to slide it to the top. Then we're going to get a ball mill out. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to go get a new tool. And we're going to go to Sample Tools Metric. We're going to go to a 3 millimeter ball. There we go. We're going to leave the settings the same. We're going, right now I have it set up as a, let's try a silhouette. Let's see how it does. What I'm trying to get is this crown. This, there's 2 fillets on here. And I'm trying to get those. So let's see what it does. All right, so it's calculating it. It's got 4 minutes. Now it tries to do this area as well, and it tries to do this area as well, but it does get this in here. So that's reasonable. But it's only 4 minutes, so it's taking a pretty aggressive cut. So let's go see if we can step over of 1 millimeter. That's going to take longer, but with a ball end mill, you really don't want to take off too much. All right, we're at 13 minutes, a little finer cut. I like it. We'll move that one up. That one's ready to go. All right, so now you've got everything but the text. You want to cut the part out. So this is a contour. And I'm going to change it to a 3 millimeter bit here. I'm going to use the bit we were using before. And it better be a long bit. We don't want to flood. We're going to keep all these settings the same. I think it's already... Now what I'm going to do here is come in here and multiple depths. We want to take multiple depths. So we're going to go down 1 millimeter at a time. With a 3 millimeter ball mill, you could 3 millimeter end mill, you can go down about up to 3 millimeters, but let's just say 1.5. And make that smaller. Say OK. And there's your tool path for the perimeter. Now you can put tabs in here, but I want to keep this video short. So we'll start at the top and we'll say this is the simulation. And we'll make it maximum speed. There we go. You're going to have to stop and change the bit from a end mill to a ball nose at some point. And then you have a 13-minute operation, and then you have a 7-minute operation to cut the part out. And between bit changes, you have to re-zero the bit. All right, so now we're changing bits and we're going to a ball nose and we're off to the races again. Let's see if I can make it. So let's go. We're at the point where we're cutting it out here. And the computer's not updating as fast, but all right, well, you can preview it and get a good idea how things are going to look. Now let's talk about these. Texts are deep down in here, so you need a long bit. You also need a very narrow bit. I would suggest you do this with a chamfer bit and do an engraving, but that's a completely different story to begin with. A 3 millimeter bit is not going to get down in here. This dimension is 1.5 millimeters. So you're going to need less than a millimeter bit to get in there. Thanks for watching.